This is New Digs. This is New Digs. New Digs. New Digs. Podcast.
Welcome to the New Digs podcast. I'm your host, Sam, with host
And me,
Caleb.
And
this week,
we're
as
gonna
a special guest,
Oh.
we have
Who?
the man,
The myth.
the legend, Josh Simons.
John Legend.
Oh,
Oh,
did we get a mix-up?
we got a...
Oh,
Booking was wrong.
booking was wrong.
Actually, though, guys, Sam was correct. He actually said the correct name. You heard it correctly. We have Josh Simons on the show today. If you don't know who that is, go listen to every other podcast we've made so far. Josh, we mentioned you quite a bit actually in our show. Do we want to let Josh have the mic? Josh,
Yeah,
come,
Josh,
come say
on
hi.
in. Come in.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
I think they're doing fantastic.
Yeah, if
because they're listening to this podcast
Yeah,
right
they're
now.
listening to us talking into these microphones. Well, they don't know they're. Well, if they're listening to us, they must be having a solid day.
Yeah,
We think highly of ourselves.
maybe.
Maybe.
We just have self-esteem.
We just we are just very confident individuals.
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Josh. But if you guys haven't listened to every single podcast, the little breakdown of who this fantastic individual is he is currently...
Our mother.
Holy... I didn't know that.
Just kidding.
Thought John Legend was my mother.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Oh, how do I
Gosh.
mix them up?
Okay, but low key. Who is Josh to us?
Who is Josh?
Who is he? Okay, he is one of our closest best friends. He
Yep.
is currently
My roommate.
Currently Sam's roommate.
He was,
My roommate. Because the three of us did live together last year.
but Caleb left us.
I left. We've probably talked about that before. We don't have to bring it up. Josh is
It's always
nodding.
painful.
He's nodding his head at me.
Emotionally distraught because of that.
Oh man, I've affected
See you guys.
too many people. But happily, we are back together in the incubator in this hot, sweaty home of audio production.
And you know what's coming up?
What's coming up, Sam?
You know what's like, you know what you should be getting excited about? Halloween.
Woo!
Josh,
Oh,
tell us a little bit why this is one of your favorite times of the year.
Halloween is probably my favorite holiday.
Really?
Just because my birthday is the day before Halloween.
Oh yeah.
So I get the benefits of cake and ice cream on one day and then loads of candy on the next day, which is very, very nice.
Sounds quite American of you. But also, that's awesome. Pairing a holiday with a birthday.
I feel like there's only one holiday where that is not awesome.
Christmas.
Christmas.
Because Christmas is pretty much just everyone's birthday on the same day.
Yep.
And Jesus' birthday.
And you don't get extra presents.
You don't. They're just like, your parents are like, oh, it's just a good excuse to only get presents once.
You get half the presents as everyone else.
Yeah. What kind of bogus situation is this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, personally for me, I am pretty excited for Halloween. This episode will be coming out on Halloween Day. That's right. We don't record the day of. No, wait.
Halloween's on a Tuesday.
Cut that entire part out.
This will come out when it comes out.
Probably on Josh's birthday.
Which would be the Monday.
The Monday. I'm telling you. I mentioned this earlier. My memory is not as good as it used to be. I'm getting older. I'm slowing down. I'm losing things, like my keys.
He's getting a little ghoulish.
What?
What?
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Okay. Well, let's get back on topic. Sam, what are your thoughts on Halloween?
You know, I think it's pretty fun. I always enjoyed the dressing up part.
Okay.
Trick or treating was cool until about like middle
Last
school.
year? Oh,
Nah,
gosh dang.
I grew out of it pretty quick. Although, I think my favorite part. Okay, I'll retract that statement. I think my favorite moment of like trick or treating was probably, I think when I was in 5th or 6th grade, and one of my friends, his name's Alex, we dressed up, we went around town, got a whole bunch of candy or whatever, and then when we got back, my parents were like back in their room or whatever, and so we had like the living room to ourselves, and in the living room we had like a larger screen TV, and then we had like the Xbox set up, and we just played like Halo 3 all night long, and it was like so much fun. Yeah.
That sounds like a solid like 5th or 6th grade memory.
Yeah. That's my favorite Halloween memory.
Oh, that's so sweet. Alex, if you're listening, I hope you feel loved because Sam just chose you as his favorite Halloween memory and not me. All right, Josh, do you have a favorite Halloween memory? Get close to the microphone.
I got it. Got it. Scoot in. There's only 2 of these things.
There's only 2, sadly.
Let's see. I'd probably have to say my favorite Halloween memory was back when I was younger. So I have 2 younger siblings, and our parents decided that it would be really cute to dress up as the 3 little pigs.
Oh.
So we got all the looks from the town. We got all the candy. All the family members were loving us, and that was a great time dressing up. Probably the best costume that I ever had, but other than that, I'd have to say last year's Halloween was actually a really great experience. So being in college, trick-or-treating is not easy to do when you're living in a dorm. So I improvised, and I decided to do something called reverse trick-or-treating. So instead of going out and asking for candy, I decided, wouldn't it be nice if I got candy for myself and then passed it out to other people that were busy studying or stressing out over midterms and things like that. So that was a really fun experience just to give back to the community and have a good time doing that.
Josh believes in reverse consumerism.
Can we get some snaps for this
Snaps
man?
for the good
Snaps
guy.
for Josh.
I do remember that day. I don't know if I was definitely of that same mindset of give my candy to other people because I love my candy. I'm just kidding. I don't really like candy all that much. It's amazing. I definitely love it. I gotta ask though, which pig were you, Josh? Because were you the dumb pig who built it out of his house out of straw? Were you dumb and built it out of wood? Semi-dumb. Or were you a smart bricklaying pig?
I was the bricklaying pig.
Yeah, you were.
Oldest sibling gets the best costume.
That's true. Did anyone, mother, father, actually, did they dress up as like the wolf, or are we just?
Nope.
Oh,
My parents never got creative with dressing up. It was more of they just found something in their closet and sort of went with it.
that'd
Sure.
been great if your dad was the wolf. That'd have just been so funny.
I think when I'm a father, I will definitely dress up with the kids.
Yeah. Are you gonna be Tinkerbell?
Why? What is that? What's the relation?
And then like your kid can be
Peter Pan?
Peter Pan,
But
yeah.
I have the red hair.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
exactly. You're just a redheaded Tinkerbell.
I'll be a modestly dressed Tinkerbell.
Didn't they come out with like a Tinkerbell movie with a bunch of different fairies or something?
Yeah, it's the animated.
They've come out with a lot of those.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
solid like 4 or 5, and they're actually fairly entertaining in my opinion.
I've never watched them.
Well, you haven't lived. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
So what are we doing this weekend? We are
Watching Tinkerbell.
actually we're probably going to be watching. Well, not probably. We are definitely going to be watching Stranger Things season 2. Sam, I don't know if you ended up watching this, but we watched this last year. Season 2 is coming out this Friday, potentially Thursday at midnight, which is technically Friday, I guess, but Thursday night per se. And I'm personally extremely excited for this. It's going to be rad.
You know what I'm excited for?
What are you excited for, Sam?
The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh my gosh. I'm personally
It is a classic.
I'm not a fan of Charlie Brown.
I love Charlie
It's
Brown.
so boring.
No.
My girlfriend hates that I don't like it.
Ooh.
In trouble with the lady. But explain, what do you have fond memories with this movie, Sam? Do you have fond memories with pumpkins?
I mean, like, yeah, as a family, we'd carve pumpkins and stuff. That would always be fun. And then, like, I remember as a family, we'd watch, like, the Charlie Brown movies around the seasons. So, yeah, it's just, like, nostalgia and fun.
I will say, because you said seasons, it's actually really exciting because it feels like life is just centered around Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. And then after that, there's just little weird things like Valentine's Day and Labor Day. There are probably other better ones than Labor Day I could have chosen. But
Mother's Day, Father's Day.
oh yeah. Well, I'm not there yet, so my birthday actually that takes place during the holidays. But it's exciting because Halloween kind of does kick off like the big 3 holiday season where we are going to jump from this to Thanksgiving to Christmas. But we start off with a bang with candy, which you can probably get at any other time of the year. But it's a good excuse to have candy.
Yeah.
What's your guys' favorite candy?
Are
Personally-
we including like chocolate bars?
Oh,
and
we're
stuff like
including
that?
anything
Oh,
that's
okay.
got sweetness and is in bar.
Because I'm not like a huge
Skittle
hard
or-
candy fan,
Really?
but I like chocolate bars.
Sure. I think I consider chocolate to be a candy
That's
of
candy.
sorts.
That's candy.
Milky Way's where it's at, man.
Milky Way.
Milky Way.
If I had to go with a chocolate bar, I'd probably go with Three Musketeers.
Eh.
Fair enough.
I'm not a huge fan.
Milky Way's got more like body to it.
It's got some oomph to it.
Oomph. Whereas if you bite into Three Musketeers, it's like you bite and it just goes, or yeah, similar idea. Josh, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
I would have to say my favorite candy would be Reese's.
Reese's.
Ooh.
Reese's
choice.
peanut butter cups.
I think that is a beautiful statement because we're combining two amazing, beautiful things in chocolate and peanut butter.
So good.
And
also,
cups.
like, if you get that peanut butter cup out of the wrapper without like losing parts of the
Oh,
chocolate,
yeah.
Ooh.
then you're just a star.
It's
A little victory.
Terrible situation when you go to peel off the wrapper and you take a little bit with it. Like, come on.
It's
Are you
like-
supposed to eat it off the wrapper? Yes.
yeah.
But it's just not as wholesome as stuffing the entire thing in your face.
True.
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 Whose stomach just made noises?
Mine.
Sam.
It's sad.
We're talking about candy. This guy's over here just like, I need that Milky Way.
The stomach growl is a regular guest.
A regular guest.
I thought you just ate dinner too.
Yeah, you literally just had
I
a
did.
burger and fries.
Yeah.
What's your
A man needs
excuse?
more than that.
2 burgers and lots of fries.
Well,
Oh,
technically,
gosh.
he had 2 hamburger
Patties.
patties.
All right, let's not like talk about what I eat. We'll save that for another podcast.
This is an intimate podcast where we talk about what is in Sam's body right
we'll
now.
talk. We could talk about that closer to Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
All right. This episode does mark sort of the beginning of our holiday themed episodes. So get pumped for the next, 2-ish months or so of life and love and Thanksgiving and Christmas and presents. And our voices.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Caleb, I don't remember you sharing. What was your favorite Halloween
Oh,
memory?
thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the asker. Okay. Now that I've been asked, I have to think of a memory.
Do.
Okay, so this might not necessarily be what you would consider to be a favorite. I'll do 2 stories. I'll talk about the best thing that I ever got as a kid on a Halloween trick-or-treating tour of the neighborhood. I was living in Nebraska, and it was actually pretty cool. Me and my friend Josh Jackson, not you, Josh, sorry, we didn't meet till 2 years ago. Me and my friend Josh Jackson, we actually were both ninjas for Halloween. We had both gotten the same exact outfit, and we were pretty tight, so it was a pretty cool situation. Now, that was awesome, but the best part of that night was going to one house, and it was one of those, really nice older couples, and they were handing out whole candy bars
Ooh.
and Dr. Pepper.
Oh wow.
Cans.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever ran into anybody who hands out a soda can on Halloween
No.
night. Very intriguing. I was grateful because my parents didn't let me drink a lot of soda at that time. That was a good decision on their part, I would think, for a young 3rd, 4th grade child to not be having massive amounts of cocaine. Caffeine. Ha 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 ha.
Hey.
Caffeine and sugar and cocaine. Just kidding. So that was honestly pretty awesome. I wanted to go back and try and get more, but my parents told me that was immoral and wrong. So dumb. Okay,
There was a house in our neighborhood, and they would always hand out gum,
gum?
and I was so happy.
That's so cool.
'cause
That's
I
a
like gum.
long-lasting candy.
Yeah.
Do we consider gum candy?
No, but it was cool.
It is cool. Soda's not candy.
No,
It's pretty cool.
it's like candy water.
Candy water. If you melted just like a popsicle, a lollipop, and added some carbonation,
Yeah, I mean it's like syrup.
it's pretty much syrup,
Yeah.
but it's beautiful. Second memory that I have was in I think 5th grade. I was an uncreative little tyke who didn't go get a unique costume, and I just put on my soccer uniform, and I was like, I'm a soccer player. So you can see how creative I used to be.
And nothing's changed.
Oh, well, darn. Thought I was cool. But it was an interesting night. We went to the Air Force military base in Wyoming, and at the hospital, they pretty much were putting on a haunted house kind of party, per se, and you had to walk through the hospital, and you like went through different rooms with different scary people in them, and there was this one guy who like had like a big, probably fake, maybe real because it was a hospital, knife. And he was just like walking around moaning and like he was just like a zombie doctor or something. And I had my soccer ball with me and I accidentally dropped it in that room and it rolled next to him. And so I was like, Mister, can you give me my ball back? And he just was like, and I was just like, my mom's like, go get it. I'm like, no, you go get it. Pretty sure she ended up going to get it. It was terrifying. What is the scariest movie you guys have ever watched? Or what creeps you out the most? What film creeps you out the most? Because I know a film that creeps Josh out quite a bit. Coraline.
Ooh. I haven't even seen that movie. It creeps me out so much.
Earlier, he told me that he couldn't watch the trailer because...
Oh, yes. That trailer. Yeah, just like going through it the first time, I was like, this seems like an interesting movie. And then like once you hit that one part where like they start sewing like buttons into their eyes, I was like, gotta stop, can't go on. And ever since then, like those kinds of movies with the clay animation type movies, they always get me.
Someone turns on Chicken Run, Josh is like, no!
I start to run.
He becomes the chicken that runs.
It's like a year without a Santa Claus, and Josh is like, no, not Santa Claus, dude.
Santa Claus. I'm gonna be Santa Claus. Sam, what's the scariest movie you've ever seen? Or that you haven't seen because you're too scared to see it?
So, I don't know if it's like a super scary movie. I think just the context of it made it like really scary because I was really little when I saw it.
Sure.
So my sister wanted to see The Ring when we were younger.
That's the movie where the girl comes out of the TV, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and she's like in the well and stuff. And so I was a really little kid when that came out. I was like, even going in, like I was noping it. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to see this. Like I was sitting on my mom's lap. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And then my sister was on the couch, and I think my dad was on the couch. I don't know where my brother was, but we were watching it, and I was terrified the entire time. Like after watching that movie, I couldn't go near a TV for like a week. I was like, that woman ain't getting me. And
I will not be got by the woman in the TV.
Yeah, and I remember like I was just like burrowing into my mom, and my sister was getting like so scared on the couch. And my mom is not a horror movie person. That's not her.
Maybe not the best person to be held by during a movie.
Well, see, the funny thing is because my sister was getting scared too, and she was like, I want to be held or something, because she was scared. She wanted, human contact to assure her that she's alive. And my mom's like, no, you chose this movie. You got to watch it.
Yeah. She chose her own fate.
Yeah.
She deserved it. I respect your mother's decision.
Yeah. So I don't watch The Ring.
That sounds truly horrifying. They did just make like a remake, didn't they? I want to say that they did. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Josh said, so I think he's right. He's pretty up to date on movies.
So what movie scares you, Caleb?
Thanks for asking again. Okay, so the most horrifying movie I've ever watched, and I think that it was potentially one of the first scary movies I ever watched. I think the first movie that I thought was scary that I ever watched was Sixth Sense. I think that movie's pretty creepy, to be honest. But this film that I watched, I want to say that I was in 8th grade, and my friend John invited me and my friend Kobe over to watch one of the Paranormal Activity movies.
Oh, those are so funny.
It was okay. It was most likely the very first Paranormal Activity movie. And so we were like, let's watch a scary movie together because that's going to be fun. Nah. I was still like a little scared little guy in 8th grade. And nothing's changed. Okay. But you look like you want to say something.
No.
Okay, so he invited us over, and so this is why this film actually was scary. I think I could watch it now, and I wouldn't be too scared. But when we watched it, we were at John's house, and his living room was set up so that on one side of that living room, there was an entrance into the kitchen, so a hallway. And on the other side was an entrance was a hallway towards the door to the house. And so in the middle was the couch. So just imagine like a rectangle room with 2 exits and a couch in the middle. And so we're watching a horror film with the lights out, and we don't know what could be coming down either hallway. Like every time there was a scary part, someone would look to the other side to make sure that nothing was coming out of the hallway. Pretty sure I was in the middle because I wanted to be in the middle, farthest away from any danger. And all I remember doing is putting the pillow very close to my face so as to not be scared by the film the entire time. And I think at one point, my friend Kobe reached over and like touched me, and I like flipped. I was not having it. And so that was horrifying. Maybe not the scariest film in the world, but a horrifying situation.
You know what's my favorite part about scary movies?
What's your favorite part about scary movies, Sam?
Scaring other people.
So something like that very recently happened. Actually, you do it quite a bit whenever we watch scary movies. But recently you two did or at least Josh, you hosted kind of like you've hosted a couple like scary movie nights and also like a scary stories night. And Sam, you take it away. Explain yourselves.
All right. So pretty much how this went was I read 3 different scary stories that I found online, just random stories that I had. Yeah, with college kids, you can't really just read stories to scare people. So you always have to have a backup plan. So my plan was to get Sam and a couple other guys that lived in our area, and we just hid throughout our room in the middle of the stories. And at the end, when the suspense was really high and everyone was all focused on me, we'd have one of them pop out, either dressed up in a costume or just hiding in the pitch black and just scream and scare everyone. It worked to perfection, I have to say. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sam, do you want to walk us through a couple instances where you potentially were the scarer?
So I was working like sounds through it. So Josh hid a little speaker near one of the beds, and so every time it would get like super intense, I would play a sound on a soundboard he had downloaded on his phone. And my favorite one was the screeching cat. It'd be like Rawr! And and so it, like even like at random moments when it wasn't even intense or anything, I would just play it, and like some of the girls would just jump and scream, and it was so funny. I remember it was so it was near the end of the first one, and we were Josh was telling the story of Slender Man. And so one of our friends was dressed up as Slender Man, and after doing like the noises to get them like amped, on edge, because they're like, oh, they're expecting noises and stuff now, like they don't know what's coming. Our friend Liam comes walking out of one of our extra closet and starts walking around the corner, and he's dressed up in the tux. He has like a white shirt over his head, so like you can't see his face. It's just the blank whiteness, and they just all freaked out. It was so funny. And later that night, like we had someone hiding under the bed and behind like some of the drawers, and so they were like kind of making noises. And then at the end of the second story, or was it second story, he like popped out from under the beds and grabbed one of the girls, and like they like started like screaming and like crawling away from him and stuff. Like it was so funny. It was so good.
That's gold.
Yeah.
I'm sad that I wasn't able to see that. That sounds hilarious.
You'll just have to come to another one. I'll keep scaring people until Halloween's done.
We still have some time.
Yeah.
We've
got a week.
We've got a whole week to scare people. Did we have a situation last year where we were going to go scare our friend we got caught by
Yeah.
a security guard because
Yeah.
of what we were doing.
Yeah.
Was that around Halloween last year?
That was
Yep.
on Halloween last year.
Was it on Halloween day?
Because
Yep.
that was when we were doing our reverse trick-or-treating.
That's what I thought. Because when you were telling the story originally, I was like, did that happen on that one day? Pretty sure it did. Pretty sure that story goes where we were hanging out. We put on some like costumes, not even good ones. You think you were a lifeguard? You probably just put a hat on.
Yep.
I think I was carrying a big Pikachu around with me, and we were trying to go scare our friend Morgan, who lived in a dorm close to us. And we got up close. We were outside of the building because she was on the first floor, and we were going to like tap on the door. And the security guard from across the quad just flashes his light at us. And it's just, oh,
It was awkward.
it was so awkward because it's like a bunch of us doing something fairly innocent on.
It looks suspicious.
It looks
but
very
it was like,
suspicious. Just a bunch of guys like knocking on the door outside of a window. Just like, oh, that probably did look pretty scandalous, pretty weird. Came over to us and was like, "That's not cool, guys." We're like, "Sorry?" Question mark.
yeah. So it was just an awkward moment.
Yeah.
She didn't even end up being in the room.
No, it was just a failed.
Yeah.
It there was no good end in sight.
You can't scare them all.
Cannot scare 'em all. Don't really know if that's a song, but
I don't think so.
obviously we've had some decent Halloween memories.
So we talked about some like cool stories about trick-or-treating. So I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys have any Halloween traditions at home besides going out and trick-or-treating?
So for me, as far as Halloween traditions go, and it sort of also encompasses fall in general, is the tradition of having this like seasonal glass jar or glass bowl that sits on the counter with personally one of my favorite things in the world, candy corn. There was always a small bowl of candy corn on our counter come Halloween. And throughout the day, I'm just reaching in. I'm taking 3 or 4 at a time. But over the course of the day, I probably could eat like an entire bowl of candy corn. And that is one of my favorite memories.
I don't like candy corn.
Aw,
It's so
how could you?
not
We're
cool.
ending this show now.
No. But for me, I think one of my favorite Halloween traditions that we do, it's just a small one, but my mom and I and like my sister too, we would always make popcorn balls. And so we would do a whole bunch of homemade popcorn, and we would make like the homemade caramelized syrup and stuff that binds all the popcorn together, and you'd have to like lather your hands in butter, that way it didn't burn your hands when you put them all together. But it was so much fun. And I remember when we were younger, we'd do like colored popcorn balls and stuff, and then we'd hand those out like when kids would come to our house and stuff, and we'd usually hand them out to friends and stuff like that.
That sounds so sweet.
Literally.
Literally sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, Josh, what's your answer to Sam's question?
I would say this isn't as much of a tradition as it's just something my family started to do. So my mom has always been the primary candy shopper for Halloween. So she'll be the one that gets out there, finds the big bag, and then brings it home and hides it from the rest of us. And in the past few years, my dad has always been the one to try and go find the bag and steal his favorite candy before we pass it out to everyone else. And so, in turn, myself and my brothers like to try and find the candy that my dad stole and steal it from him. So it's just become this whole big game of, let's see if Dad can get the candy, and then if Dad can get the candy, we can get the candy. And just different hiding places around our house have been like found over the years, and we get pretty creative with these hiding spots, actually.
That's one of the coolest things I've ever heard regarding Halloween, to be honest.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That actually is pretty phenomenal. Okay, I have a question for you guys, and I don't know if maybe I'm the only one who's ever run into someone like this, but when I was in like 3rd grade, I had a friend who was a Catholic, and there was this rumor that ended up being kind of true that spread around our small little 3rd grade class about how her family believed that Halloween was a satanic holiday that should be shunned and is awful. Have you guys ever met anyone that maybe not that extreme, but they're just like, Halloween is evil?
Yeah.
Are you one of those people, Sam? No,
Not really.
not really. That makes sense. You've had good memories.
Yeah. I mean, like, every holiday has typically multiple origins, or even if it has like more of like a one-track origin, it probably comes from various sources and it's all pieced together.
True. Everyone's got to have their opinion on something, and
Yeah.
I guess Halloween could come across, and could have a history that comes across decently negative.
I mean, it makes sense. People are dressing up as like ghouls and vampires and zombies
True.
and stuff, and it's especially if you watch like a horror movie, then it totally makes sense.
That's true.
I mean, I don't care for horror movies, but Halloween's still a bunch of fun because it's mainly like an excuse to dress up and eat candy.
Yeah. Modern day Halloween is a beautiful time where everyone buys candy, hands it out, consumes it, dresses up, watches good movies, has a good time.
It's like it's the one like very communal holiday that Americans celebrate.
That's true. Unless you're one of those people that
Who
says
doesn't celebrate it?
that doesn't celebrate it. Or you're one of those people that just says no solicitors.
Yeah.
Like, we do not have candy.
No candy for you.
Neighborhood gangs up on those people. I'm just kidding. But I do remember those people that would just be like, no, we don't have candy. And it's just like, aw. But
You're not my favorite neighbor anymore.
You're not. I don't like you. Okay, so this has been a grand time, guys. It has been a time of trick-or-treating stories, of horror films, and of sweet, sweet candy.
I'd say it's been pretty spooktacular.
Spooktacular. I like that word. And we want to give a big shout out, a big thank you to our friend and roommate Josh Simons for being on the show. Josh, do you have any final words?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for inviting me. Definitely a great time to be on here. Definitely with Halloween coming up, I just wish you guys the best of time. Have fun getting candy, have fun dressing up. Just don't eat too much. And make sure you have a dentist appointment coming up soon.
Oh, good guy, Josh. Always looking out for people.
And their teeth.
And their teeth. I want you to be my dad, Josh.
Papa Josh.
Papa Josh. But seriously, have a good Halloween, everybody. Be responsible. Choose an awesome outfit. Or don't. That's up to you. I don't rule your life.
And as you hunt out those sweets in the local neighborhood, you should hunt us out on social media.
On social media.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, and we'll be looking for a new platform to put our audio files on.
Yeah.
So, as always, thank you for listening, and hope you digged it.